She the queen, yeah, that's Queen Esquire. Legal trouble, she getting you out the fire. Another day and she solving another case, cause she litigate with dignity and grace. She the queen, yeah, that's Queen Esquire. Legal trouble, she getting you out the fire. Another day and she solving another case, cause she litigate with dignity and grace.
Hello, litigators and opinionators. Court is now in session. You guys, Ben Crump and attorney Sue Ann Robinson came with all guns blazing. They really did an excellent press conference today. That is why I said that I was happy to see Ben Crump representing this family. Now, I have to explain what that means because we have some people in the comments that don't, they need a little bit more babying and coddling, because I feel like sometimes I don't go into details about things because I feel it's common sense, but sometimes people don't understand certain things. And so when I say represent, I mean he is a civil rights attorney, okay? He's a civil rights attorney. We all know that that's common sense. It doesn't mean that he's representing them in criminal matters. That is something that I thought was common sense, but I know I have to explain that to some of the people that were in the comments being a little antsy, saying he's not representing them in the prosecution. I think a lot of us already knew that. What we were really saying is that it's wonderful to have his backing and his support in this case, because his advocacy is really what can influence individuals in power, given his background, given his social media history, given his clout, you have to say, given his long history of representing many of Black individuals that have faced injustices in our society. I don't understand it, guys, why people in our community sometimes just can't rejoice when we have something so great as this. They always have to find something negative to say. So let me get that out the way, just to clarify that for the people that are negative in the comments that keep trying to say, he's not going to prosecute them. He's not a criminal prosecutor. Duh, we already knew that. A lot of us already knew that. We were just saying that we are happy to see these two individuals advocating and fighting for justice, because their influence is what's going to get the ball running in this case. They had an amazing press conference. Sue Ann has really been working hard for the family. According to the press conference, which we're going to play, or I'm going to play for you guys, some parts of it. She went to Mexico, guys. She talked to the officials involved. She actually had to do some digging. Now, they were not really being helpful towards her. They kept giving her the runaround, and she had to stay there, and she risked her life. She risked her safety. She risked her welfare to go and find out the answers for the family and for us and for everyone. And she basically, when she talked to the Mexican officials, they said, hey, we already turned in everything, which is what we already talked about before, y'all. On my channel, you guys already knew about this stuff. But some people who don't, we got to review this again, that the officials have confirmed that they have already Mexican officials have already provided and sent all the appropriate documents, sent out the red notice, all that good stuff, and that they were waiting for the State Department and the officials involved in the United States to make the next move. Now, we talked about this before on another live, that one of the issues that could be hanging it up is that the Mexican officials, when they filed their paperwork, they utilized a charge called femicide that is known in Mexico but not recognized in the United States and not likely included in the treaty. However, that does not eliminate the option for the United States to take on the case themselves. The Mexican officials are allegedly stating, hey, they can have the jurisdiction to prosecute the case also. If they don't want us, what the Mexican officials are saying, if they don't want us to prosecute it, which we're ready to prioritize this case, if they don't want us to do it, then the U.S. can go ahead and take jurisdiction. That's what the Mexican officials are telling attorney Sue Ann Robinson, that the U.S. officials can actually take on the case themselves to prosecute it. But you notice it's been 5 months and they've done nothing. They have not tried to take on the case. They've just sat there twiddling their fingers and twiddling their thumbs. Now, another thing I have to clarify for some of the people in the back in the comments that always got to try to play Miss Smarty. We already know President Biden doesn't have the direct jurisdiction to force prosecution, but he has significant influence. He is the president of the United States. He can actually sit down and talk to the State Department, talk to the leader of the State Department to get this ball running, talk to the Secretary of State, talk to the individuals that have the movement capability to get this ball running. I just had to clarify that for some people. But guys, I thought this, oh my gosh, this press conference was amazing. That's why I said it's amazing to have Ben Crump on this case and Sue Ann, because they're both high profile attorneys that are known in social media. They have social media backing. She has a lot of court TV backing and a lot of TV publicity. Ben Crump does too. And he actually has met with President Biden on other cases. I mean, especially in the George Floyd case. He's the one that pushed the George Floyd law that we're still trying to work to get passed. So that's why I'm saying it's great that these two attorneys are representing the family in terms of their civil matters. Gosh, it frustrates me, guys, that I have to, baby some people in the comments, because they have to be Miss Smarty and be like, oh, he's not prosecuting. I think everybody already knew that Ben Crump is a civil rights attorney. Y'all let me know in the chat if you didn't know that. We all know that he is not a criminal prosecutor. Everybody knows Ben Crump. We know that when we talked about who this young lady is, she was a previous prosecutor, but now she's working civil law cases, and she is a criminal defense attorney. But she is doing the legwork, guys, to advocate for the appropriate officials, meaning the State Department, the FBI, all those individuals that actually can get this ball running. She's the one that's advocating on their behalf. So let's get into this press conference, y'all.
Good morning. Is everyone ready? Thank you for your patience. Obviously, this has been a long journey thus far to getting justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with my law partner, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. We have the honor of being joined by the queen of the movement, Tamika Mallory, and Until Freedom, with Professor Angelo Pina and my son, the General. We are so grateful that Until Freedom.
Do two W-2s make a W-4?
Hi,
Sorry, guys, about that ad. It's so frustrating. The ads don't want us to be great. We'll just have to skip this part before we get back to Ben Crump. Okay.
For Ms. Robinson, never. Even when everybody seems to sweep it under the rug, they stayed the course. Also, we have present with us the NAACP president here in Washington, Akusa, and we have Mario Black from Million Youth March of Charlotte, North Carolina, where Shanquella Robinson hailed from. But most importantly, we have present with us her sister, Quila Long, and her mother, Miss Robinson. You can only imagine what she has endured in these 18 weeks. You can only imagine. And so she's not alone. We're standing with her, and we will never, ever leave her pursuit for justice, because Shanquella Robinson life matters.
That's right.
And so let's give you just a little background of what got us here today. And I'm so grateful to Attorney Robinson for going above and beyond for Justice Roland Martin. I mean, my law partner did things that make her heroic, not just as a lawyer, but as a strong Black woman who sees the humanity in Shanquella Robinson as possibly somebody who could be her own flesh and blood. That's what humanity requires. So thank you, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson, from the bottom of my heart. Shanquella, as we know, was 25 years old. She was from Charlotte, North Carolina. Her date of death is October 29, 2022.
And you guys who've been watching this, we kind of already know a lot of this part, the background part, that she was 25, or she's 25, and that she passed away October. So we're going to kind of skip over some of this part of it.
Being beaten literally to death was released on November 16th, 2020. The travel mates who went to Mexico with her, I mean, you're talking about adding insult to injury. Sabina, the travel mates returned from Mexico to the United States and told Miss Robinson she died of alcohol poisoning. They failed to mention are the persons responsible for her death. It's not a hard act. When you look at that video, it is not a hard act. And when you think about when white women go missing, it's not a hard act. My colleagues will get more into that later. Now, the family.
Ben Crump makes a good point, which is this quite frustrating to me, guys. I don't know about you, but why is it that when a Black woman or Black man dies, we have to work so hard to get justice? Why do we have to protest? Why do we have to have press conferences? Why do we got to fly all the way down to Mexico? Why do we have to do all of this stress and work to get justice? Whereas when you have a white victim involved, everybody is willing to go to bat for these victims. I mean, every single day there is an update in the Idaho 4 case. Whereas we have this beautiful young lady who mattered in this world. And why is it that all this has to happen? Why is it that the Shanquella Robinson family and thousands of individuals had to mail letters to the president, to the State Department, to the Mexican officials, to the Attorney General, to the State Department, Secretary of State? Why do we have to send and mail letters and all that to get justice? Shouldn't we be afforded the same equal justice as any other American citizen under the law? It's as if they treat Black individuals as if we are mediocre, or as we are de minimis, as if we do not have equal value as an American in the United States. It is very appalling and disgusting. So I just had to bring that out. And Tamika Mallory and a lot of these other young ladies are going to bring that out too, that I just find that very frustrating that we have to do this for this young lady. This is totally appalling to me. And it doesn't make sense that they have an entire video, direct evidence on camera, could actually show what happened to this girl. And they're just sitting there twiddling their fingers and twiddling their thumbs.
Retained us, and my law partner, Sue Ann Robinson, as I said, she went above and beyond. The family asked her, and she went on a fact-finding mission to Mexico on their behalf after being advised by us that the Mexican authorities were not doing their job. That's what the U.S. said. The Mexican authorities were not doing their job in regards to investigating this crime. And so, you know, for Black people to get justice often in America and certainly abroad, we have to go above and beyond. And Sue Ann Robinson went above and beyond. I mean, this sister, she went down to Mexico for a week. I mean, had threats to her safety. She's a mother of two beautiful little girls, but she saw that she could not justify staying safe and playing it safe while Miss Robinson's daughter had been killed. So Sue Ann Robinson deserves all the credit in the world for going down there and getting the evidence necessary for us to come here today and to say to the department that it is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America, and that is not right, that the suspects and the people involved are sleeping comfortably in their own beds at night. If they are guilty of a crime, then the United States government should do one or two things. One, they should either extradite the person who murdered Shanquella Robinson to Mexico to face the charges and the crimes that have been alleged against her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What's frustrating is it seems as though the FBI, the State Department, Secretary of State, they literally just stopped reviewing the case. They have two options in this case, guys. One, they can extradite, which it appears as though they don't want to because it appears, my opinion is, humbly stating, that they don't feel that the documents that the Mexican officials filed is sufficient. That could be the issue. It doesn't matter though. They have option two, which is they can take jurisdiction and they can proceed with filing charges. My question is, why haven't they done that? If they don't want to extradite, why haven't they took the steps to file the criminal charges in the United States? It is a case between two American citizens, which means that they can take on this case and prosecute it. They have done absolutely nothing because they don't feel American citizens who are Black matter. They have been doing this for centuries. I mean, look what's going on in Florida with the whole remove Black history from the schools and remove the inclusive multicultural department from the schools. It's like they want to completely erase the Black ethnic culture. It's very sad. Oh my gosh, guys, but let's keep going. I'm just getting emotional right now. So if I stop and get emotional, you already know how I am.
Or two, they should take jurisdiction. Mexico is willing to give jurisdiction to the United States to bring a case for those responsible for killing Shanquella Robinson to justice. And
Did you hear that? So Sue Ann, she went and spoke to the Mexican officials, and you know what they said? They told her they're willing to give jurisdiction to the United States. So the question is, why hasn't the United States taken jurisdiction and proceeded with filing charges? Why? That is the question I have. I am quite frustrated with the United States officials, the State Department, the Secretary of State, the individuals that can make the decisions involved in this. They have literally just dropped the ball on this case. As Ben Crump said, he has direct knowledge because this young lady here on the screen went to Mexico and talked to the officials, and they said, hey, we already did our part, and we're willing to give up our jurisdiction to the United States. So why haven't the United States done anything? And why do we have to start protesting? We're going to have to go back out to the streets, you guys. It's like we have to labor each day for the lives of Black people. Why? That's why we have the Black Lives Matter movement. Because of this same demonstration of the fact that they're not valuing this young lady's life. The United States has absolutely no excuse at this point. Mexico said, hey, you can have the jurisdiction. If you don't want us to prosecute it, that's fine. If you don't agree with our femicide charge, that's fine. You have jurisdiction, we'll let you have it. And they still are not doing anything.
the only question is, State Department, President Biden, what are you going to do to bring justice for this brokenhearted family, especially this mother of Shanquella Robinson? It's not a hard act.
That's right.
Either extradite the killer or take jurisdiction so you can prosecute the killer. That's right. It's simple. And so
recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard.
My co-counsel is going to go into details with you, and then you're going to hear a couple of people, especially my sister Tamika Mallory, who is going to make the case even more plain, because we can't have different justice systems depending on the ethnicity of the victim. We can't have one set of justice for white women and another set of justice for black women. We got to have one justice system for the United States of America. And so that's why Attorney Robinson deserves just so much credit for going to get the evidence that is necessary for us to now make the case for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Now you're going to hear from my partner, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson.
Say it with me, guys. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. But why do we have to protest? Why? Why do they have to stand in the rain? It was raining today, too. Why does the family have to fly out to Washington, D.C. to get equal justice under the law? They're treating Black lives as if they don't matter. They don't. They completely devalue this young lady's life. Mexican officials said, you can have the case, USA. Why haven't they filed charges yet then? What are they doing? What are they waiting for? We have an entire video showing the entire action. This is not a hard case. This is a slam dunk case. This is a prosecutor's dream to have a case where you have video footage of the crime being carried out. So why are they sitting there twiddling? Why do we have to keep saying justice for Shanquella? This should have been done. We shouldn't have to have Ben Crump and Sue Ann Robinson fly all the way to Mexico and the parents and the sister and all these people have to do all this. It's sad. Now, I applaud all these people standing up, and I'm very happy to see we have some prominent Black officials involved that are going to really, make this case get some action going. But it's still frustrating. I'm just saying, guys. And I'm with some people in the chat. One of the pages, the woman, young lady, I was with her. I was feeling her with my whole heart when she said, "This is ridiculous. They're acting like they don't care. This is POing me off." Yeah, that's how I feel right now, Sierra. I'm with you, girl. I feel that's why I'm a little elevated, y'all. Hi, everybody in the chat. If I missed you, I love all of you. Hi, Emma. Hi, all my beautiful people. Bad news, everybody in the chat. Sorry, y'all. I just got a little emotional, but I love all y'all in the chat. All right, now we're going to hear from Sue Ann, guys. Sue Ann, oh my God, just listen to everything she has to say. She is incredible. She's the one that flew to Mexico to actually do the legwork to find out what was going on. So I applaud this attorney. She is on her game, which is why I said I'm happy that they're involved. It's not that they're prosecuting the case. They are using their license to get influence done, and they're using their high profile nature to get this case moving, which is what I'm happy about.
Robinson. Y'all give her a big round of applause. This sister here, I'm so proud to work with her.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I want to first and publicly, which I do every day, thank Mrs. Robinson and, Quilla, for putting their shoulder to the plow to seek justice on behalf of Shanquella Robinson. I'm thanking them for doing something that so often only Black and brown families have to do. They have to grieve their loved one. They have to adjust to normalize their life with the loss of their loved one. And at the same time, they have to become part of a movement, part of a club that no one asked to be in. They have to beg for dignity and respect in death. They have to seek justice on behalf of their loved ones. They don't have the privacy to grieve and do those things in private. So I want to thank them publicly for turning their pain into purpose and for giving me the honor of assisting in their case. We've been doing this for a very long time. Black women have been having to come to the front lines against oppression because of our intersectionality. We're Black and we're females. And so based on that alone, we have a unique set of oppressions we have to deal with and fight against since Mamie Till. And I cannot, I stand today on her shoulders, on the shoulders of all the Black women who have to grieve publicly in order to push the most important work of our time forward, which is that we would receive equal treatment. That's right. That we would also receive equal justice under the laws of the country that we're born in. Yeah. Shanquella was a beautiful, adventurous entrepreneur. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to know her in life. But getting to know her in death has changed my life. And no one should have to suffer the indignities that she did. We deserve to live peaceful lives, enjoy vacations, and die old, peaceful deaths.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Being on the ground in Mexico on a fact-finding mission was surreal. I'm an attorney. I went to law school. I know what the laws are. I know I'm a former prosecutor. I know what the Department of Justice can do if someone flees from justice. So for me, on behalf of this family, to have to physically go and seek justice on their behalf was unreal. In another country, with another language. Going to those places, going to the police station, going to the Attorney General's office, going to the Mexican Red Cross, going to the office of the doctor that attended to her, going to the actual villa and the places where she walked, where she spent her last moments, trying to find answers for this family was absolutely unreal. Nobody should have to do that for something that is equal and fair. They're not asking for anything special. They're not asking for anything unique. They're asking for their government to intervene in a case and take jurisdiction for a crime that we all saw unfold on video.
That's correct. My Lord.
The most important thing from the case going to Mexico, I learned two things. One, that Quilla and Mrs. Robinson are creating their own path to find justice in an international case, because there isn't a path to get information, to find out what's happening on your case, to find out what happened to your loved one. There is no such path. They are creating the path. And number two, most importantly, because they were being ping-ponged between the U.S. authorities and Mexican authorities, they got sick of it. No one was returning their phone calls. Mexican authorities confirmed that they have completed their investigation.
We found Sprizzy through a Google search, pretty much.
I want to just, while these ads are going, I want to just, address something that somebody was saying in the comments about, why do Ben Crump have to be on here? He doesn't handle stuff. He shouldn't be making all this noise, but da-da-da-da. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm going to keep my cool, and I'm going to try. Y'all pray for me in the chat, because y'all know sometimes I get roused up. If you were listening to anything I said in this live, and if you are aware of what's going on in the United States, if you take a look at the history of the United States, you will see common sense for why Ben Crump and this attorney, Sue Ann Robinson, Tamika Mallory, and all of the high-profile Black individuals in the United States has to make a ruckus about this case. And I have been saying this from the very beginning. I've been telling you guys, the only way we're going to get justice is if we make a ruckus. Y'all know this is a broken record that I keep saying. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. And as it relates to Black lives in the United States, we have been historically treated as though we are the bottom of the barrel. We are devalued. We are treated as if we are less than an American citizen. And so because of that, historically, if you would just turn on the news, sir, who just made that ignorant comment in the chat, you would see historically why we have repeatedly had to protest for Black lives, protesting for George Floyd's life, protesting for Ahmaud Arbery's life, protesting for Breonna Taylor's life. We have to make a ruckus if we want change. Wake up. Where have you been, sir? Where have you been? You clearly have not been aware of what's going on in this country. If you are having to question why Ben Crump has to make a dramatic scene, or why Sue Ann Robinson has to elevate her voice, or why Tamika Mallory has to speak with passion, or why they have to stand out in the rain and in the cold to advocate, sir, you need to go back and look at the history books, because clearly you are not living in the same country that all of us are living in. That's why we need Ben Crump. He has influence. He has time and time again been able to get things going. Can he criminally prosecute? No, I'm talking about the influence that this man has to get the ball running, to put pressure on the appropriate departments that actually can take jurisdiction of this case. That is what I am trying to say. Y'all, I don't know what's going on sometimes with us in the Black community. We can't seem to be positive and support one another. We always have to find a way to tear down someone who's trying to help, or trying to speak up, or trying to advocate, or someone who has influence. It seems like there's always somebody in the background trying to tear down progression. Wake up and smell the coffee. We need to make a ruckus. I've been telling you guys before, the reason why this case is just delayed for 5 months is because it became cold. People stopped talking about the case. People stopped making a ruckus. You couldn't even barely get a click or a view. You could barely get anyone to talk about the story on YouTube anymore. You don't even hear it talked about on Facebook when it was spoke about every day back in November and December. When January hit, people really kind of stopped talking about it. That's why the authorities thought, oh, well, we got away with it. We don't have to care about this Black girl's life. Let's just put this case in the back of our filing cabinet. The Mexican officials didn't file the right charge, so we don't have to worry about the case. When all along they can have jurisdiction, because the Mexican officials are saying, even though this crime happened in our country, we're willing to relinquish our jurisdiction and let you go ahead and prosecute it. But yet the officials in the United States have done nothing, because we haven't made a ruckus. It's about time. It's been a little late. I would say it's a little late in terms of making the ruckus. This ruckus should have been happening back in January. So if anything, this is a good news that we have Ben Crump, but I feel it's a little kind of late. But I'm happy that he is involved in making a ruckus. So please stop with the, why is Ben Crump making a ruckus? He has to, okay? He has to, or we're not going to see justice in this case. This case will never be prosecuted if we sit there and don't say anything. If we sit there and stop talking about the case, and Ben Crump is not involved, and we don't have these high-profile attorneys like we have Sue Ann Robinson, who is very well known in court TV and media. If we don't have high-profile individuals like this that are making a ruckus, that can actually get the ball running and has the influence, then we will not see justice. Shanquella's case will be buried away in the back of someone's filing cabinet as if she did not matter. Sorry, I had to say that while we want to just waiting for the ad, because somebody in the chat was over here being negative Nancy again.
View some of the packet, and it has been sent. The ball is clearly in the United States court. The State Department, the Department of Justice, the ball is in your court. That's right. Do what you have to do. In Mexico, we went to the U.S. consulate, who is supposed to be the liaison and the protection for American citizens abroad. We got no such warm greeting. We got no such constitutional rights. We got no such assistance, liaison information. In fact, we were almost impeded and advised that if the family needed more information, they should talk to the 6 travel mates that went to Cabo with Shanquella.
Outrageous. Who was the accessories to the murder.
Right. Outrageous.
The level of disrespect to Shanquella Robinson's dignity, even in death, is unreal. We had to go ourselves to the Attorney General, explain to them, hey, we're not just trying to show up here. We tried to follow the protocol, but we're not going to leave without any information. And we were assisted by the Mexican authorities who advised the ball is in your court. We've sent everything over to Interpol. We've sent everything over to the FBI. They advised that the case is a top priority for them. I haven't been advised of that by the State Department here at all. Have you guys been told that? Okay. The issue now is that there has to be a high level of diplomatic intervention. And I say high level to be tongue in cheek because, to be honest, the highest level is right here. That's why we're here. President Biden, the head of the Department of Justice, the State Department, you've all got calls from our office. And no answers. You've got letters. Let's do what's right by Shanquella Robinson. And let's always do what's right by Black women. I work every single day in what I call the most important work of our time because I would like this job to become obsolete. I would like to have to stop coming before the press and begging for dignity and respect on behalf of my Black clients. Put us out of business, please. President Biden, Department of Justice, State Department, International Affairs, it's on y'all. That's right. And we're waiting right here until justice is served for this family. Thank you.
Great. That's right.
Powerful. I told y'all, Sue Ann is powerful woman that really went to bat for Shanquella. Y'all, did y'all hear what she said? She went to the villa where Shanquella last, was at. She went to the Attorney General out there. She went to where the doctor was to speak to the doctor involved. She did all the legwork to find out what was going on. And they treated her like trash over there, telling her, if you want to know what happened, go back to the Cabo 6, figure it out. But she did not, that didn't stop this woman. She kept pushing them until they finally said, you know what? We gave all the paperwork to the U.S. You need to talk to the U.S. officials at this point because it's not our problem. So it's very apparent, according to her actually getting direct information, that it is the U.S. officials that have devalued this woman's life, like they have done time and time again to Black lives in the United States, whether or not a Black person killed another Black person or a white person killed another white person. It seems as though historically in the United States, they tend to devalue Black lives. Like it doesn't matter. And it's getting very tiring that we have to go through all this dramatic scene to get a reaction. In this press conference, we need to keep the momentum because it appears as though they have mailed thousands of letters to the President Biden with pink envelopes. They have mailed thousands of letters to the Department of Justice, the State Department, and all the officials that can make appropriate decisions in this case. And yet it doesn't appear as though they read any of those letters. They just they just piling up the letters, probably threw them and put them in the recycling somewhere. This is unacceptable. Until the United States does right by Black individuals, they will continue to be dealing with the stuff that they're dealing with and looking like a complete fool across the world because the world looks to us as leaders. And if we can't get it right in the United States, then how do you expect the world to? The world looks up to us. The world is literally laughing at us because they continually see how they're treating their citizens. It's like, make it make sense. So sad that this woman had to go through all that. You can see the emotion in Attorney Sue Ann as she speaks about it. She's, literally trying to hold back her tears. You could tell she's trying to compose herself as she's speaking about this because of how emotional it is. Now we're going to move on to another speaker, y'all. I mean, guys, I wanted to just play parts of this interview. This press conference. But everything everybody had to say was so powerful. So I need to react to it because it was so good, y'all. I mean, Tamika Mallory, you know she came with it. The president of the NAACP spoke. Her words were powerful. Shanquella's mother spoke. Shanquella's sister spoke, because you know we haven't heard from them in quite some time because they have been bullied online by, guess what, YouTubers who are trying to get a click and view, harassing this family. Oh, we don't see tears. Oh, they're fake. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, grow up. That's why a lot of times too, the United States doesn't value Black lives, because Black people don't value their own life. They over here making fun of these victims in the Black community because they didn't respond the way they want them to respond. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Great. Great.
Thank you so much, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. And it should not be that our office has to step in and try to do the work for the United States Department of Justice or the State Department itself.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars?
Felt, I can only imagine you being in the villa after seeing that video. And again, like Attorney Robinson said, Tamika Mallory and Sue Ann Robinson, it has been strong Black women leading this effort. And I think that's important because we have to step up for our people. If nobody else will step up for us, we got to step up for our people. And so my sign is never lost on me that they try to say we only show up and show out when it's white people who kill us. No, when anybody kills us unjustly, we stand up for justice. And so the president of the
Exactly. And that's a response to someone too in the chat that, oh, we only care if a white person kills a Black person. No, we care if anybody kills a Black person. So if a Black person kills another Black person, then that Black person still need to be prosecuted. Just like what happened in Cabo 6. A Black woman, allegedly Dejanay, beat Shanquella to death, and she needs to be held accountable. It don't matter what color she is. A life is a life. Okay, she needs to be held accountable. She needs to be under the jail. She shouldn't be living her best life working. You know, if she does have a kid, some people say she has a kid, some people say she doesn't. She shouldn't be out there enjoying her time with her kid and just enjoying her life while Shanquella is buried 6 feet under because what? Dejanay couldn't get control of her low self-esteem. Because in my opinion, I still feel the motive was definitely some jealousy there. She looked like she just insecure and don't have much going for herself, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. So you could just take out someone because you don't have control of your own self-preservation and your own self-conception. So then you want to self-perception. And so you want to turn around and take this woman, snuff this woman out. Like I'm with some people in the chat, some people in the comments and other videos have said they believe maybe they intentionally brought her there, you know, and because they knew it was going to be this whole debacle that's going on right now, because they quickly left that scene so fast. They flew back to the United States so fast you couldn't think straight. They were already back in the United States. It sounds real shady to me. The Mexican officers don't seem too enthusiastic. It looked like they got paid real good because they weren't too enthusiastic to apprehend these individuals either. So I'm really under the perception with some of y'all who said that they believe that they might have paid those law enforcement a pretty good hefty amount of money, in my humble opinion. Okay, in my humble opinion.
United States, the State Department, the Justice Department has to do those two things. Either they're going to extradite the killer of Shanquella Robinson or they're going to take jurisdiction. It is that simple. And we won't take one day off of demanding our allies at the White House or anywhere else that we stand up for Black people getting justice, even if it's inconvenient for you. That's right. Even if you think it's a nuisance for you. Well, we don't think Shanquella Robinson was a nuisance. We don't think that she was insignificant. We don't think that she was irrelevant, and we don't think that she was inferior. She was a strong, brilliant black woman, the best that we had to offer the world. And that's why we're going to continue to fight for justice for Shanquella Robinson. And we're so happy that we have all type of organizations, civil rights organizations, standing on the front line with us. I have the honor of having President Kuswa Ali of the Washington chapter of the NAACP come and present to you in this fight for justice. President Ali, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, y'all listen to this woman, Akushua. This woman is a powerhouse. Everything that she said was truly inspiring. So y'all need to listen up to what she had to say, because this woman right here, I believe, who just truly has some very powerful words.
Good morning. Good morning. Again, my name is Akoshua Ali. I am the president of the NAACP Washington, D.C. branch. And I first want to extend our condolences to the family for your loss. And then also thank and commend Attorney Benjamin Crump and his amazing team, and my sister, Tamika Mallory, both of who have been iconic civil rights leaders continuing to champion this fight for racial equality and justice. As we stand at the beginning of Women's History Month, it is appalling that we have to lift up not only the mantra that Black lives matter, but Black women matter. And in this country, we cannot continue to allow the double standard of how Black women are victimized and are undervalued compared to how white women who have also been victimized and murdered, but are championed and glorified by the media, and their lives are valued more. If this country is truly to embody what it stands for, what our ancestors lived for, what our ancestors bled and died for, we have to represent that in all aspects of our systems, our criminal justice systems, our law, and international and diplomatic relations. So I charge you all, as we stand on the shoulders of not only Black women, but all people who have fought for social justice and equality in this country, to use your voice, stand in your power, and demand justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Thank you so much, President Ali, for your great leadership. Next, the Freedom co-founder, my sister, the queen of the movement, Tamika Mallory.
Good morning. First of all, let me just say thank you all so much for showing up today. This family needs support. It is all too often that when Black women are harmed, people don't show up. We fight against that. It is a struggle that we deal with in this movement often, that we cannot find people to stand solid and to continue to show up months and months and months later as these situations unfold. So I want to thank those who drove up from North Carolina. Yes. I want to thank all of you who've come out today to be here and to be present for Shanquella Robinson's family. I also want to thank my co-founders of Until Freedom, Attorney Angelo Pinto, my son Lennon, and Linda Sarsour, for taking my leadership, which oftentimes I come to them with a lot of crazy things, and they listen and they back me up and they support me. And if I say this is an issue that we need to get involved with, we do it for all of us. We do it for one another. But specifically, I want to say, as a Black woman in this organization, that I appreciate that they take it seriously to stand up for justice for Black women. I truly do take it as it is on my behalf. You know, this is not a difficult thing to understand, as Attorney Crump has said. It is not complicated.
That's right.
There was a woman, forget about being a Black woman. A woman was beaten to death on camera. and she returned from a vacation with her neck and back, her spine broken.
Outrageous.
It's very simple. We saw an attack.
Yes.
It'd be one thing if you did not see a video, and perhaps we could come up with some other explanation for what happened to her. But in this case, what we see is very clear. She was beaten to death.
That's right.
And if she wasn't beaten to death, somebody needs to tell us exactly what happened.
Come on. Tell us.
And there are 6 people who were there who know the answers,
Say that.
and they need to be present somewhere where they are being asked and demanded of the truth.
Say that.
Particularly the person who we saw. And I want to correct something that has been said, and I am asking every single person from the media to be careful about the narrative.
Come on.
I know that my brother Roland Martin will be careful about this, and I'm asking all of you. There was not a fight.
Come on.
There was no fight that took place in that house. There was an attack against one person.
Say that.
We did not see a fight. In fact, we hear the other individuals on the video asking her whether or not she was willing to fight back for herself as they joked while she was naked. And she tells them clearly, no, she does not want to fight.
That's right.
And they continue to allow her to be beaten, and then her neck and spine was broken, and she returned home to her family in a box. That is what happened.
Come on.
It is not complicated.
Come on.
So as my sister, Sunshine Anderson from Charlotte, North Carolina, who couldn't be here but has been a great supporter of this family, would say, when you tell us it's complicated and there's issues, we've heard it all before. And we don't want to hear it anymore.
Right.
We want to see that there is movement, action, that something happens for Shanquella Robinson. Forget about her being a black woman. She is a woman, and she is a United States citizen, and we know what you can do.
Say that.
We know what you can do.
Say that.
Let me tell you why we know what you can do. Because we've seen you do it before.
That's right.
When Natalie Holloway went missing in Aruba,
Come on.
America stopped. It stood still. Even I stood still.
Come on.
We shared the information. When the White House had press conferences, they were asked questions about her. The media would not let it die.
Come on now.
Natalie Holloway was in our homes every day, and she should have been.
Well,
and so should Shanquella Robinson.
Now. Say that.
And so should Shanquella Robinson.
That's right.
I want to thank my dear sister, Rabbi Bara Elman. Come on over here, Bara Elman. The rabbi has come down to show that this is not just about black women.
Come on
this
now.
is about all women.
Come on.
And that we must all stand together in saying that enough is enough
That's right.
of this country disrespecting our people and disrespecting humanity. The question that I have for President Biden, for Merrick Garland, the head of Department of Justice, the question that I have for the head of the United States State Department, what would you do if it was your child?
Come on now.
What would you want to see happen in this country
That's
if
right.
it was your child who was beaten to death on camera
That's
without
right.
clothes?
And why is it that we have to even ask that question? Tamika Mallory is so powerful, y'all. This woman really brought out so much of great points. Why do we have to even ask, what if it was your child? It's as if the Americans, literally, the American judicial system is spitting in our face. Like, Shanquella does not matter. Why do we have to say, what if it was your child? That's just so sad. It's like we're literally begging the legal officials, the State Department, the president to do their job when it comes to a black life. We literally have to beg and plead and tell them, what if it was your child? And it's a good question that Tamika Mallory raised, but I'm just looking at it from a point of it should be already a given that the State Department and the legal officials that are involved that have the power to do something, they should have already been doing something. We shouldn't have to sit here and beg them and give them hypotheticals and have them think about it and have them, it's so sad. And Tamika Mallory, this woman was on fire. I'm telling you, her speech was powerful. And how she brought out examples, you guys, of white victims who the media never let their cases die. Never let their cases die. I mean, look what they're doing right now. They will cover Idaho 4 case every single day. We're hearing about Idaho 4 or any white victim. You'll hear about that case every single day. They will play that case out, like what happened to Gabby Petito, if that's her name. They covered that case every single day. We heard about Gabby Petito every day, all day. There was a news outlet talking about it. But why is it such a task that the general media has a problem with covering Black lives? They let this, they have not talked about Shanquella since back in December. The only news station that's really covering it is the North Carolina news station. This is unacceptable. The media is just as at fault, in my opinion, because they have also demonstrated their lack of value for Black lives. We should call out the media too, because they let her case die. They haven't been talking about her case every day. They're literally telling us that they don't care. So Tamika Mallory, I'm telling y'all, she was on fire. And look, you have this rabbi here. I'm so proud of the rabbi here. She is the only white person you see here on the screen who took her time out to show that she cared enough to come to this press conference. That's sad. One white woman, that's it. But I'm proud of that rabbi that she at least came out to at least show her support. But that is sad that we didn't see a lot more. We are in 2023, guys, and yet we still have not seen much progression as it relates to equality. Martin Luther King would be very disappointed, because unfortunately, even though some of his dream came true, where you have little Black boys and little white girls going to school together and all that, but we still don't see equal justice in the United States. It is so appalling. So appalling.
Imagine that her family had to watch a video of their baby, their sister, being beat to death with no clothes on and no support. Right. What would you want President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris? What would you want as a Black woman if you saw your sister being beaten like that? How would you move? What calls would you make? What would you expect in terms of the answers that this family has not been provided? They have been told that there's no information that can be given to them, but that they will get a call back. No family wants to hear that. They should be invited on a regular basis to conversations where it is clear what this country is doing. Now, some will say, I'm sure, when they start with their narrative, they are going, I see it's raining and we're going to be quick. They will say that they're doing a lot. But the problem is that this country does not have a good reputation of protecting Black women. And so therefore, we cannot take your word for it. We want to see it with our eyes and hear it with our ears. We want the same attention that other white women have received. And in fact, we are calling it the white women missing treatment. We want to see that put in action for Shanquella Robinson. Move expeditiously. Use your resources and be intentional about justice for this young sister. Because as you know, we will not go away. We didn't leave Breonna Taylor's family, and we will not leave Shanquella Robinson's family.
Exactly.
Amen. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you. And now we're going to.
All right, y'all, some ads are on. But another individual spoke, and he was over there calling on.
This is me now.
Sorry, y'all. He was over there calling on Obama. And I'm like, boy, where have you been? Obama is not the president anymore. So I'm not going to play his. If y'all want to watch that, you guys can watch the whole press conference. It's out there. And if you need the link, let me know. But I'm going to play now. I'm going to play for you guys Shanquella's beautiful mother and her sister and what they had to say, guys. They're just so precious. I'm really even happy that they're speaking, because as I told you before, they weren't really speaking because we have some really mean, disgusting people online harassing this family. So I'm proud of the mother and the sister that are actually coming out and speaking again. So we're going to hear from them now.
Miss Robinson, the mother of Shanquella Robinson, and then as we bow, my attorney Robinson, attorney Paige White, Monique Press, everybody on our legal team, we're going to go and present the evidence to the Department of Justice, and we're going to demand justice for Shanquella Robinson. It's that simple. And so please give your attention to the mother of Shanquella Robinson as she bears her soul to you.
My name is Salamandra Robinson. I am the mother of Shanquella Robinson. I am here in Washington, D.C. today asking for answers about what happened for my daughter. I don't wish the terrible nightmare on anyone. My daughter was brutally beaten on a video. She was undressed, and there was many people that could have helped her. They laughed and joked instead. Shanquella came back from a vacation dead with a broken neck and a spinal. I can hardly talk about it. Since November the 16th, no one has been arrested. The people who knew what happened to my daughter are living their lives. They have returned to work, and my family is left to wait and to beg for answers. I am here as an American citizen to ask our president and everyone with the power to get justice for my daughter to help me. Please help me and my family.
And we will help you, Miss Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
That is so sad. You can hear the tone of Shanquella's mother's voice. It's like she's literally pleading with the government to do their job. Why do we as Black citizens have to plead to get something? Plead for breads and crumbs of justice. That is just so sad. So sad, man. Bless this beautiful woman's soul. Guys, I did say I didn't want to play that guy's speech because he was over there talking about Obama. But one thing I did want to play from his speech after we hear from Tequila is the fact that he said, remember we talked about that they were going to march to the post office to mail letters to Mexico? Well, he indicated that they also mailed letters to the State Department, the president, and everyone else. Also, the flyer didn't indicate that. So it's good to know that they were mailing it to the U.S. officials. Also, they weren't just mailing it to the Mexican officials, and that they had mailed over 1,000 letters. So I at least want to, get his statement of that part in, but I will wait to play his part until we hear from Shanquella's beautiful sister.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear from her sister, Quilla Long, the sister of Shanquella Robinson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The death of my beautiful sister has been the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with in my life. I have dealt with death of a loved one in my family, but my sister's death is a different type of love. My mind have not been at ease. I have not been able to rest since October the 29th of 2022. I got the call of her death. I also was told lies about her death, and I witnessed, among others of the world, of a video of her death. This journey has been frustrating. The feeling of disheartened to our government. I feel like our government has failed us. Now we got to take extra steps and measurements as far as rallies, as far as press conferences, mailing letters that I feel like we should not have to do. It's been 5 months and something should have been done. My sister was the sweetest person, lovable, business driven, and respectful. She didn't associate herself with drama. Okay, so I feel like whatever happened or the situation that took place at that villa, she was trying to leave and they wasn't trying to let her go.
My Lord. Thank you, Quilla.
On this journey, we just try to stand together and try to protect her as much as we can and fight for her.
because she's no longer here. She needed help then, and she needs help now.
Amen. Thank you, Quilla.
And let's not let her down, guys. On that day that she was brutally murdered, and she was murdered on camera, they let her down. They sat there and watched this girl be brutally taken out. We have a chance to right that wrong by standing up for this girl in her death, to fight for her. I know it can be tiring and feel discouraging, but we got to really band together and really keep writing these letters. I hope that they facilitate some type of protest, though, because we're going to have to do like we did with Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. But it's so sad that we have to fight over time to get justice. It's so frustrating with our society that just historically the U.S. has continually trampled upon the lives of Black individuals. The Word of God says a house divided against itself will fail. And I don't feel the United States could ever be a strong country as it wants to be if it continues to fight against its own citizens, to continue to treat Black lives as if they are trash. It's so heartbreaking that they even had to go through all this. I just feel the pain of Tequila. I feel the pain of the mother. It's so painful to see this, guys. And like Emma Fiasco said, it's unacceptable. It is. Right. She does deserve to rest in peace. It's sad. Yeah, where's the dad? I wanted to hear from him. Like I was saying, they kind of have their own not divided. I mean, because they're not together anymore. The mother and the father aren't together. So sometimes it appears as though they kind of do their own campaigning or own advocacy for justice separately. Sometimes they join together. I don't know what happened with the father this time. Maybe because he is a trucker, he might have had to work. I don't know. That's a great question, Christina. Maybe it's all too much for him. I have no idea. But at least two of the family members were there. It's just so sad. Oh man. Oh, the boyfriend's not around because he probably don't want all these people bothering him. You know how people are. They will track him down and harass him. That's probably why he's not seeing girl. He don't want to be caught in all this mess with some of these toxic people online. And there tends to be a lot of toxic people when it comes to Black issues. But let's hear from him. Hopefully he talks about the what happened when they did the march to the mailbox.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mario Black, founder of Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury, an organization birthed in Charlotte. Stand with families during their times. I made a vow in December when we had the official rally at Little Rock AME Zion Church. Pastor Dwayne Walker and Lady Walker opened their doors for us to have the rally. I made a vow to this family that day that I would stand with them that day until moving forward. December, we had the rally. January, we celebrated her birthday, 26th birthday. 2 weeks ago, we mailed letters to Washington, D.C. We mailed letters to Mexico, 1,000 pink envelopes to Washington and to Mexico, demanding justice for Shanquella Robinson. We want justice. President Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris, let's make it happen. This is what this family needs. This is what this family wants. And when I was reached out to 2 days ago about being here today, I said, absolutely. So I thank you, Tamika, my sister, Tamika Mallory. We're getting to know each other, love her to death, love her mission. To my brother, Ben Crump, thank you for everything that you do. No justice, no peace. Arrest the Cabo Six. Say what?
So you heard him. He's done a lot. The Million, I forgot his name, Million Man March or something like he does. But I really applaud him for all the things that he's done. He's the one that set up the rally for the family, set up the birthday celebration for the family, and also set up that the march to the post office to mail letters, not only to just the Mexican government and Mexican officials, but they mailed it to the U.S. government officials and the president and the Department of Justice as well. So that's good news. That was a wonderful press conference, y'all. I was going to only play bits and pieces of it, but it was so good. I had to play it all, y'all. I had to. It was so good. It was amazing. It was empowering. It was uplifting because it felt like this case was really falling by the wayside. And Sue Ann Robinson went back on her Instagram, y'all, and she came here and she was, her comment just 3 hours ago was, if they didn't hear Shanquella's family before, they heard us all full voice today. Exactly. We have to be full voice and fight. It's like we're still fighting the same fight that we have been fighting decades upon decades. It's sad that we're continually fighting the same fight. It's as if we haven't really got much progress in the United States. It's still that historical hatred towards the Black community that is very ingrained within the United States soil as they see fit. I mean, look what DeSantis is doing right now. DeSantis is showing his pure hatred for the Black community. Pure hatred. And I don't care what anybody else says. It's pure hatred. The fact that he wants to erase Black history. It's like they're too afraid to face the reality of the history of discrimination that has plagued this community and this country. Seriously, just appalling to me. But when she said, they heard our voice, full voice today, she said the video speaks for itself, right, State Department, doesn't it? And then she put her number here, 202-646, blah, 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 co-counsel, call and ask. And let's see what people had to say. People said, Black Queen Magic. They said, get them, sis. I can't imagine how that family feels. Somebody said, amen, please take action. We need our government to take this seriously. They said, frontline law. They said, big advocate Sue. And, they got the big guns. Sue is known to have a lot of high profile interactions with court TV. She has the backing, which is why I'm glad the family is going that route of getting people who have the backing of the public, the publicity behind them, behind their name. Ben Crump has that publicity behind his name. Sue Ann has that publicity. We need big advocates like that who can have influence and really bring forth the social attention that will put the pressure on the State Department to act. And put the pressure on the president to talk to the State Department to say, hey, you need to prioritize this case. Okay. They said, facts, ma'am. They said, yes, sis, go, Sue, go. They said, let's effing go. Exactly. So I'm with the family here. I want to see what Ben Crump had to say. Let's check out Ben Crump's Instagram, see if he had anything to say after the press conference. Because what I love about Ben Crump, he uses his influence to get the ball running. And that's what I like about him. He uses his influence, and that's why families go to him. Let's see. Has he posted a reel? Okay, he has right here. And I'm not going to play it because we already watched the whole news conference, so we already know what that's about. But let's read what he had to say. Shanquella was an ambitious and upstanding member of her community whose family is still awaiting justice for her death. We need the president of the United States. He tags the president of the United States and the State Department. Those are the two entities, y'all, to intervene and put pressure on the investigation into her killing. Her family deserves accountability. So y'all see the two entities that they have tagged. He has tags here. Y'all want to tag them in all your posts too. If you have social media posts, tag the president of the United States and the State Department, because the State Department is really where this case needs to go. This is the department that can actually make change and actually file the charges and take action and make the decisions. They're the ones that actually make the decision to take and accept jurisdiction to intervene. Let's see what the people had to say in the comments for Attorney Crump. This person says, so much greatness wrapped in one beautiful person. She deserves to still be here. Her death bothers me to my core. And someone says, justice. He said, I'm glad Attorney Crump is on this case. It's time for justice to be served. This person says, thank you for your work, Mr. Crump. It's an inspiration, and I plan to do my part. Exactly. We need to all do our part. It's sad that we have to fight this hard for justice. We should be afforded to us equally just as much as any other citizen. But it's sad we got to literally labor, blood, sweat, and tears, y'all. And one of the things, they had a good analogy. It was raining, and they said, that's the tears of Shanquella and the tears of injustice that continues to plague the Black community. It's true. Okay. That's how I see the rain as. This person said, thank you for fighting for her and her family. She deserves justice. They said, I thought these mother already had warrants put out for them. Nope. They're out here chilling, y'all. They said, I'm happy you are all on this. Justice for Shanquella. Thank you so much, very much for what you do. Yes, justice must be served. Apply the pressure because pressure bursts pipes. Exactly. This is the lasting quote here. Exactly. This is what I have been trying to tell y'all. We have to apply the pressure. We have to keep talking. We have to keep fighting. We need to keep getting publicity on this case because that's the only way the government is going to act. That is the only way. If we sit there and look pretty and be quiet, this case will fall by the wayside and there will never be justice for this young lady. I mean, look what happened to Christian Obunsoli. They were going to let that girl, Courtney Taylor, walk. They actually already decided that she had valid self-defense charge. And so the police officers in that case actually closed the case. The only reason why the case was reopened because the family unified together and fought hard and were persistent in fighting and were persistent to the point where it put pressure on the government officials to take a step to file charges against Courtney Taylor. That was the only reason why they opened up the case again. They reopened, the state attorney reopened the case because the family fought for justice for that young man, that black man. Now, I know people say they don't like Christian Obunsoli. I know he says some bad things about black women. So I get and I understand people's stance on that. Y'all already know I'm with that. But I'm used him as an example to say you have to literally fight blood, tooth, and nail, everything to get justice for a black life. It's just disgusting. Okay? It's sad, y'all. But let's see what y'all have to say in the chat. I'm sorry I've been talking your ear off. I want to hear what my beautiful people have to say. Y'all know I get a little emotional. She said word to that. We already talked about that. They said, but it's a lot of Shanquella. Pete, this person said, I'm in the Northeast. I'm trying to encourage people to send letters. Right. People are so cold sometimes. Not my family, not my problem. Right. That's how people feel. They just feel like, oh, it's not my issue. But it is. We have to unify together because if this black life is not treated with justice, then what will happen later on down the line? We have to treat every black life as if it matters, because if not, then they will continue to trample upon black lives. Christina says, this guy with the glasses, I never understood what his purpose is. Who is he in side eye? Oh yeah, the guy with he's a community member. He is with the Million Man March organization. And what they do is they help victims of crime and other community support. He is a great community leader. And he actually has been really, really consistent in helping his family. I was just saying, he said Obama when he was saying his speech. And I'm like, boy, where you been? Obama banned out of office. Come on now. Emma says, it's me, the usual Emma, Queen Esquire. I'm on a different device. Oh, hi, Emma. Different email. It's got my whole name, but it's just Emma. Sorry. Okay. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Emma. So sorry, sweetie. I did not realize, girl, your name, your picture, everything looked different. So I don't be knowing. But thank you for clarifying, sweetie. Oh, okay. Let's see what Joy. Hi, Joy Williams. That was so good. I came in. Sorry, I was late. Hugs to all. Hi, beautiful. No problem if you're late, sweetie. Remy said, did y'all hear the sister interview? It don't add up to me. Oh, Lord, y'all. I do not want to go. If y'all have anything to say about that sister, do not come on my page. Anything negative, I don't hear it. I don't want to hear anything negative about the family. I'm on the family side, so. What is that? What did y'all hear that? I wonder if y'all heard that same sound that I just heard. Oh my God, what is that? This is weird. Okay, somebody said, write letters, make phone calls to Mexico consulate in Mexico City now. Let go. That's right. Let's do it. Let's unify together. The reason why, okay, y'all need to stop blaming this family. Oh my gosh, the Black community is so toxic sometimes. The only reason why the sister said about the video before it went viral is because she was told about the video. That's common sense, y'all. She had people calling her, where she said on another interview, people who knew about the fight called the sister and they gave her that video. So when North Carolina Beat called the family and said, hey, I got this video, the sister said, oh, somebody already sent me the video. That's how she knew about the video. Y'all need to stop blaming this family. Y'all, I'm telling y'all gonna have to deal with the loss one day. The same type of pressure you're putting on this family, it's gonna come back on you. Y'all need to stop with all that judging people's family and stuff. Stop with that. We are not the judge and author and finisher of somebody's or who they are. Okay, the family had nothing to do with Shanquella passing away. I don't know why everybody be blaming this poor family. I'm just getting frustrated with that. Emma said, I really need to hear someone go off about Shanquella's in an intelligent manner. That's refreshing. Thanks for sharing, Queen. No problem, Emma. No problem, sweetie. Hi, Chi-Chi. I haven't seen you in a while, girl. I think they were trying to get some truth out of those thugs who harmed her sister. Right, girl. Exactly, girl. Exactly, girl. They were hearing from people in the community who actually told them. There was an interview that the sister talks about that somebody sent her that video. Somebody called and told her about the fight. They said somebody was fighting that girl. That's what they called and told her. And somebody sent her that video. She actually knew about the video before North Carolina B got a hold of the video because somebody sent her the video. The video had been already spreading around to different people in the North Carolina community because Cabo 6 was over there sending that video out to people they knew. And it eventually, some of those people who got the video felt bad for Shanquella when they found out she died. And they went back and sent it to the family because they felt bad about what happened. They start feeling guilty. And they sent that letter, that video over to Shanquella's family. That's what they talked about. Chichi says, I believe she said it was just someone who sent. Yeah, that's what she did say. I watched that video interview where Taquilla explained what happened about that. Maybe they thought one of them would be honest and tell what truly happened. No, I think they felt bad when they saw that video. They started feeling guilty, like, oh, shoot, I need to send this to the family because people over here lying saying, what is that? Oh, goodness. Oh, it's a voice option thing that's doing that. That's so weird. Okay. But they heard what was happening and they just, went and told the family because they felt bad for the young girl. So y'all sometimes I'm just going to ignore people. If you guys have anything negative to say about this family, please do not come on my chat. I don't want to hear it. I've talked about this before and I'm going to start sending out my video to anybody. I do not want to hear anything negative about any victims' families. That is not what my channel is about. If you like to talk negative about family, then you want to go to the other YouTubers out there who like to trash talk victims. But this is not the right channel for that, honey. You're not going to get it over here. You're not going to get it over here, y'all. If y'all want to hear that, you're not going to get it over here. Sorry. Chi said, I don't know if she necessarily took his word because I believe she did say he was acting strange. Yeah, he was acting strange. She did say that. She did say that. Right, Scott. Hi, Scott Smith. Scott Smith says, I'm glad they had this press conference. Me too. I feel like it's really going to get some movement, but we can't stop there. I hope that they keep doing these press conferences. I hope they hold a rally. I hope they hold a protest because just doing one press conference is not going to do anything. They got to keep doing. Okay. I hope not. I just hope not. I hope not, y'all. Let's see what else y'all have to say. Happy Friday, beautiful people. I missed you guys. Oh my goodness, I missed you guys. Chi says, forget about her being a Black woman. I think that's one of the most important things because Black women's death never get noticed. Right. I think Chi, what she was trying to say is just saying, let's look at it from a human perspective because they're trying to, it's sad that they have to try to break it down this much for the U.S. officials in the State Department, y'all. It's so sad they got to do all this, but they were basically trying to try to lower it, try to clarify it for the government officials in a way to say, look at it from a human perspective. That's what she was trying to say, basically. But it's sad that she had to even do that in the first place, like Chi said. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people are not fans of Crump. I understand, y'all, but I'm supporting Crump. I'm glad he's on the case. I'm supporting Tamika Mallory. I'm glad she's speaking up. I'm supporting Sue Ann Robinson. Whatever's going to get justice for this young lady, I am happy about it. Ben Crump is doing his job as an attorney. Bring attention to the case, right? Help the family be compensated. Exactly. I don't care for him, but he does what he is supposed to do. Exactly. And I'm happy for that. So I don't care what any other opinions about the man. The man is doing what he can to get justice for this case. And if his influence will help get justice for Shanquella, that's all that matters to me. Okay. Is to see the Cabo 6 in the jail, under the jail, locked into the jail. That's all that matters to me. I don't care who assists. If they have some type of clout, some type of power, some type of social influence like Ben Crump, Sue Ann Robinson, Tamika Mallory, I'm happy. Okay. I'm happy about that. Okay. Okay. And nobody said you're not welcome. Y'all getting, I'm about to block some folks. Nobody said your opinion is not welcomed, Remy girl. You getting a little too disrespectful and you will get blocked soon, honey. I'm just saying, I've had a lot of people come on the different lives bashing and trash talking the family because they heard something from another YouTuber. That's what I'm saying. If you hear something from another YouTuber and you want to come to other YouTubers and just speak how you feel because you're bashing the family based on what a YouTuber said, that's what I'm talking about, generally speaking. I'm not talking about, you not having an opinion. You can have an opinion. You can state your opinion. I don't care whatever the opinion is. I respect everybody's opinion. I'm merely talking about it from a broad perspective because there was a big issue with other YouTubers bashing the family. And what was happening was a bunch of these individuals who were watching these YouTubers who were bashing the family were coming over to my channel and kept flooding the comments with all these information that they're getting from the other YouTubers about negative things about the family. Okay. That's what I'm saying. If your personal opinion is you don't trust family, that's your opinion. But if you're trying to use something from another YouTuber to try to cause, commotion and stuff, that's what I have an issue with. Okay. I respect everybody's opinion. Like, that's what I talk about. I call my subscribers opinionators and litigators, which means we love the opinions. That's the whole purpose of the channel, is the opinions. You guys are opinionators, duh. So that's the whole purpose of the whole channel, is to come and talk about these issues and everybody give their own diverse opinions. But when it comes to victims and you're just purposely trying to disrespect the victim's parents because you just want to be disrespectful to the family. You don't really have a logical reason behind it. You just want to trash talk the family because you heard something from another YouTuber. That's when I have an issue with you, because I'm like, come on now. If you like to hear what that YouTuber said, go over their channel and y'all can talk about the family all y'all want. But over here, we're not about to do that. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Especially when we're talking about sad cases, right? Like Emma said, I love Emma. See, she understands the whole theme of the channel. Thank you, Emma. Love you, boo. That's my girl. She said with dignity and grace, regardless of the case. Exactly, love. Exactly. You can have your opinion. Just litigate your case. Give your opinion with dignity and grace, which means you're not bashing, tearing down people who lost their loved ones. That don't make sense to me. How is that an opinion? That don't even sound like an opinion. It just sounds like somebody who just wants to tear down this family. That's what it sounds like to me. And in that case, yes, you're not welcome here, women girl. You're not welcome here if you're going to tear down a victim who already is being torn down because they lost their loved one. That don't even make sense to me, y'all. Does that make sense to you? If you lost your loved one and you got people beating you up every day, criticizing every little small thing you do, and you're already in the process of grieving the loss of your loved one who was beat to death, that don't make sense to me. That don't sound like an opinion or a litigation to me. That sounds like somebody who's just a bully. And I don't like bullies on this channel because, like y'all said in the chat, my beautiful Emma said, with dignity and with grace. That's all I ask. You can have all the opinions in the world. You can litigate how you want to litigate, but just do it with dignity and grace. That's all I ask for, y'all. Dignity and grace, y'all. That's all I ask for. We have a lot of people in the chat who may not even like Ben Crump. Nobody, I don't care if you don't like Ben Crump. That's your decision. That's your opinion. And I respect it, girl. You have a valid reason for what you feel. I'm just stating my opinion. My opinion may be different, but it doesn't mean that your opinion's wrong. It just means we have two different perspectives. Okay? But I didn't, I said, hey, you don't like Ben Crump, you don't like Ben Crump. Some people don't like him. But I personally do. Just my opinion. Okay? Right, like Asila says, I believe to this day that the Cabo 6 planned this murder of Shanquella Robinson. I do too. I agree with you, Asila. I want that Cabo 6 to be fully prosecuted. Girl, I agree. At first, I didn't think it was planned, Asila. But now I'm hearing all the stuff that's happening in Mexico and how they're literally getting away with it and how they quickly left that place and how they were able to leave without the officials keeping them there. It sounds like this was planned. It just something don't sound right, y'all. Okay? Something don't sound right. So, Asila has a valid opinion. Chi says, I hope the Cabo 6 sees her face when they go to sleep. Girl, I hope they haunt her. I hope they haunt all the Cabo 6 in their sleep. Every night they have to see her face. I'm with Chi. I am with Chi. I hope they do. I hope they do. Right, like Island Girl said, it's a shame that her own so-called friend was in on it. Exactly. That is sad. Her own fake friend. Just fake. Fake. Y'all got to be careful who y'all call your friends, okay? Scott Smith says, thank God for Ben Crump and his associates keep moving forward. Right. I'm just thankful that he is really helping use his reputation, use his power, his clout to get this case rolling. You know, he might be, him and his influence with Sue Ann Robinson and Tamika Mallory, they might be that three leading force that's going to really put pressure on the State Department and on Biden to really, you know, put pressure on the State Department to get this moving, guys. So, you know what? We just got to be hope and pray that their influence will really, really bring change, y'all. Okay? Okay, Crafty Diva. Hi, Crafty Diva. Happy Friday, sweetie. She says, there's no way those people are living in peace knowing what they did. Hopefully someone breaks and comes forward with the truth. Girl, Crafty Diva, I hope you're right, girl. Some people, Crafty Diva, could be real evil, girl. There's some people that are so evil that they don't have a conscience. You might be a good person, girl, and you might haunt you because you have a good heart. But people out there, some people have really dark black hearts and they do not have a conscience. So they actually can sleep peaceful at night, even knowing that they took somebody out. Yeah, they can. Some people out there don't care. I mean, look at Ted Bundy. He was so happy. He was killing all those people. He didn't care. He slept just as peaceful as anybody else, as sad as it is. Right. And Angela Smith said, Ben Crump will get it done. Right. Let's look at the history of Ben Crump's influence on different cases that we've seen that he's been involved in. Most of the cases that I've seen that he's been involved in, there has been action done in the judicial system. Look at what happened with George Floyd. There was justice. He was involved in that. Look what happened with, Tyree Nichols. There was charges filed in that. And then all these other cases, Breonna Taylor and the list goes on. You just can go sit and look back on all the cases that he has been involved in when he makes his voice heard. Although, yes, he's not a criminal prosecutor. I'm talking about the influence this man has, that he gets things done. He puts pressure on the appropriate entities, the appropriate prosecutors department and all that. He puts pressures on those appropriate departments that can take action. That's why I'm happy about Ben Crump being on the case. Okay. And whether people talking about, he gets money. He's an attorney. Duh. What do you expect an attorney to work for free? Boy, bye. We are not about to work for free. You got to pay us just as much as you want paid. You want to get paid from your job. Do you expect to get paid when you go to work? Okay, then I bet it's a yes, you expect to get paid. So you can't tell me that Ben Crump shouldn't expect to get paid for his legal advocacy. Now he will go, he can sue, he can assist the family in suing civilly too. If they want to, they can sue the Cabo Six civilly for wrongful death and force them to testify, force them to give a statement in civil court, in a civil lawsuit. I hope they go that route too while they're waiting for the criminal aspect to take place. I hope they actually file a lawsuit against Diogene and some of the culprits involved for wrongful death so that they can force a deposition out of them and get some statements rolling. I really hope they go that route, because even though we're waiting for the criminal aspect, we're waiting for State Department to get rolling, we can still get some action in the civil action. Sue the Cabo Six, because then they're going to have no choice but to respond to your deposition. And then they're having no choice but to speak and get statements. So I really hope the family goes that route. I'm not sure if they are, but I hope they go that route, y'all. I really do. Okay. I think the only way they're going to break is they need to sue. They need to just sue them civilly while they're waiting for the State Department, because, keep pressuring the State Department, but also you can still sue. Ben Crump can still take on the civil aspect of it and sue that family, sue the Cabo Six. Because regardless of the results, they might claim they don't have money. It don't matter if they have money or not. What we want is the depositions involved. We can subpoena and we can subpoena legally for them to go and testify in accordance with the deposition. Now, they might claim plead the fifth on a lot of those questions, but at least they can at least get the ball rolling. Just start something, okay? Just start something, okay? Get them to say something, y'all. I know what they're gonna do though during those depositions. They're gonna be like, plead the fifth. But still, hey, we can at least assess their demeanor. I would have them record the deposition to see how their demeanor is, all that stuff. You can still use all that stuff. Okay, that's what I would say what Ben Crump should do on that aspect. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that he is, at least his voice is involved. Sue Ann's voice is involved in advocating. They bring the media everywhere they go. You see what happened? They had cameras, light camera action. We got an article. A couple of articles have come out from different stations. MSN has just reported an article. We've seen a lot of other articles that are out there because they're speaking about it. That's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that they retained them for the purpose of being their legal advocate because they have the backing of the media. That's why I'm happy. They have the backing of the media. Everywhere Crump goes, everywhere Sue Ann goes, the media will follow them because of their influence, their social influence, which is why I'm happy because that's going to put pressure. When things are publicized in the media, it puts pressure on the appropriate entities. Biden will have that pressure because now he's got all these people pressuring him. So what he's going to do is he's going to talk to the State Department, who actually can get this ball rolling and say, what's going on? Why aren't you guys prosecuting this case? The Mexican officials are saying that they're giving us jurisdiction. These are two Americans that are involved. Why aren't you prosecuting this? That's why I'm saying I'm excited to see these two high-profile attorneys on this case. And I'm sorry I had to emphasize that, but we have some people in the comments on prior videos saying, Ben Crump is not a criminal prosecutor. He can't file criminal charges. Duh, we've been knowing that for years. He's never prosecuted any of the other cases. He's just been the legal voice, and he also will sue civilly to get any civil recovery for these victims also. But it's his voice and his legal influence and his media influence is what I'm interested in, because that's what I believe that I really have faith, guys, now, because my faith was really falling and dwindling on the other videos. Y'all heard me talk about it. My faith was really kind of wavering. But now that I see we have Ben Crump and we have Sue Ann Robinson, who are high profile individuals who really get the ball running, y'all, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop until this case is presented in court and the Cabo 6 go down. That's why I'm happy, because I really feel in my heart that we're going to see justice, that we are going to see some movement in this case. Now, when that's going to happen, I don't know, but I'm happy because I feel like I know it's going to happen, and I'm happy about that, y'all. Okay. Yeah, like Emma said, it is not unheard for one person to break, but look at the trouble they'll be in. Might outweigh their conscience. Who knows? Right, girl. Some people, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, sweet, crafty girl. People, they will throw out their conscience when it comes to saving and preserving themselves. A lot of people are invested in self-preservation rather than humanity. So I don't really see the Cabo 6 having any type of empathy. I see them banding together and trying to stay quiet and live their best life and hope that this case just dwindles away. And they honestly think they got away with it, guys. Right now, they're laughing. This is so sad to have to say this, guys. But right now, the Cabo 6 are sitting there laughing. They're laughing at everything going on. They're watching the news conference and saying, ah, ha, ha. They're not going to do anything. Ba, ba, da, ba. That's what they think. They think they're going to get away with it. Okay. Oh, hi, Angela. Oh, Angela's here. She said, why these negative comments like we are here with positive vibes? Justice will prevail. Girl, we are here with positive vibes, girl. We always here with positive vibes. But we trying to, this case, honestly, is just, it can bring out some negative tension sometimes, it seems. Asila says proper and decent for Ben Crump and other influential leaders. Right. At least they're stepping up and using their influence. That's what I'm saying, girl. Their influence. It's the influence for me to come forward to support Shanquella Robinson case. That's what I'm saying. The big high profile people, we need those people to have the influence. And I'm excited because we have a lot of them in this case now. We have Ben Crump, which I'm excited for. We got Sue Ann Robinson. We got Nancy Grace she's really invested in the case. We've got Tamika Mallory. We've got some high profile people. And that's what I want, because I'm seeing that this case is going to get the justice it deserves, because we're not going to stop until we get it. But I need my beautiful subscribers to fight. I need y'all to fight with me. I need y'all to keep the fight going. I need you guys to keep posting on social media. I need you guys to keep tagging the president and the State Department in your posts. I need you to be mailing letters to the president, to the State Department each day, mailing them letters, y'all. Just all you got to do is write one good solid letter and keep mailing that same letter. You don't have to write multiple letters. Just keep one letter that you save on your Word document and you print that letter out and keep mailing the same letter. That's all you have to do, because it's like we got to keep putting pressure on them. But I want more media attention. That's what I want. Because the letters is good, but we need media. Like what we have with Ben Crump today, Tamika Mallory today, and Sue Ann Robinson. We need more of those type of press conferences. We need more protests. We need to draw attention in the media. Because the more the people are aware of it public-wise, the more pressure it puts on the appropriate entities. And we need to make a big deal about it. That's the only way. Right, like Scott Smith said. Scott said they won't be laughing when they're arrested. Right, Scott Smith, they won't be, okay? They sure won't be, but right now they laughing right now. That's what they doing. Right, okay, like Angela said, amen. Ben Crump name alone definitely has cobblesticks shaking, trust me. Right, Angela might be right, because I'm telling you, when Ben Crump gets in on the game, I'm thinking back on all the times he's been involved in cases, and every time this man is involved in a case, there's results. I have never seen a case yet. And let me know in the chat if you've seen one, because I haven't seen one yet. I have yet to see a case where he has not got results for these victims. I'm thinking, I can't think of one. Y'all have to put in the chat if you know of one. Because from what I've seen, I've been watching this guy for a while. He always tends to get results. That's why I'm happy, because that gives me a lot of hope. Because it's like, if Ben Crump can't get any justice, I don't know what to tell you. This man tends to get results every time he jumps in on a case. It seems to put pressure on the right appropriate entities to do something. That's why I'm with Sheila. I'm with Sheila. We need to just protest. I am with Sheila. I'm with Sheila. I feel like we need to protest, because that's what happened with the Ahmaud Arbery case, the Breonna Taylor case, George Floyd. We need to protest, y'all. I'm with Sheila. But we need to get the people, we need to wake the people up right now. The numbers are not there. That's why I feel as though when we have Ben Crump and we got Sue Ann involved now, and she's got Court TV's backing. I hope that she can at least speak to Court TV and see if they can do a coverage on this case, because they haven't done one on it for quite some time. They are dropping the ball too. They over here covering Idaho 4 almost every other day. And what's that other case? Alec Marbury, whatever that guy's name is. Alec Marbury, whatever that guy, the guy who just got sentenced to life for taking out his wife and his son. They over there just covering those cases day and night. But we haven't heard him talk. We haven't heard about Court TV talk about Shanquella in several months. So, right, like Asila said, we need constant media attention. And the only way we're going to do that is if we make a debacle. We got to make some noise. And how do we do that? Through protest and through press conferences. But protest we need. We need that protest, y'all. Okay. Okay, we need that protest. Chi-Chi said, I don't think the comments are negative. It's not an echo chamber. People have different opinions. That's a healthy thing. Justice for Shanquella. Have a great weekend. Right. Yeah, I'm with Chi-Chi. Yeah, a lot of people are going to have different opinions on this topic. And, so we may not all agree. And my channel is all about opinions. That's why when I start my page out, I say, hello, opinionators and my litigators, because I love to hear all the different perspectives out there. Everybody has a different, unique, intelligent perspective that I love to hear. That's why I do these stories, to hear your perspective. So yeah, this case, it does draw some negative, negativity, unfortunately, but that's just the case we're covering right now. So it's, that's just what it is. That's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. But your beautiful light can bring some positivity to the chat. So if you want to bring your positive, beautiful perspective, we would love to hear that and welcome that, Angela, because you got a beautiful perspective that you can kind of add to the chat. That's why we need you, girl. We need your positive perspective in here, girl. Sheila said, there are none. There are none. Even in a small town in Florida before he went national. Okay. And like Emma said, Crump's name gets attention for sure. That's what we want. We want his attention on the case. We want the media's attention, because it seems like anytime Ben Crump says something, the media follows this man. Okay. That's why I was happy. I knew that when he had this press conference, there was going to be some news outlets there. And now we're seeing these different news stations cover the case now. I just seen one right here. MSN just did an article saying, the suspect in 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson's brutal death in Mexico still hasn't been arrested. Her family wants Biden to intervene. So look, as soon as Ben Crump, because we haven't heard anything about these news stations and these articles and these papers talking about the case until Ben Crump got on the case. Now we got MSN and all these other articles coming out. Where's MSN been? They haven't been anywhere. As soon as Ben Crump get on the case, we woke up. We woke up these different news outlets, magazines, all that stuff. Okay? That's why I told you I was happy that he was going to be here, that he was going to represent this family, because he was going to bring the media with him. That's what makes me happy, because the more we get the media coverage, the more it puts pressure on the appropriate entities, which is the Department of Justice, to do their job. Okay? Mexican authorities have confirmed they have completed their investigations. They're done. So they're saying right now that the ball is clearly in the United States courts, that they need to do it. The State Department and the Department of Justice, the ball is in your court. That is who is at fault for why this case is sitting here collecting dust. Just sad, y'all. Just sad. So today has been a good, productive day for Shanquella Robinson. I'm very happy. We've got a very productive day. But guys, I keep telling you guys that a squeaky wheel is what will get the oil. The only way that we're going to see justice for Shanquella Robinson is if we keep squeaking that wheel, making our voices heard in the media with powerful influences and backing and support like we have with Ben Crump now and Sue Ann Robinson and Tamika Mallory and the NAACP president. That's what we're going to get this case moving. But we need to do a little bit more pushing for the appropriate officials. So like Angela, I'm happy too. I'm with Angela. I'm very happy because y'all know for the last few weeks, we haven't been seeing anything going on, and it's been quite an emotional roller coaster. So I feel like Ben Crump and Sue Ann has brought a sense of hope back into this case when we didn't have any. So that is beautiful to have that hope revived. And it's a sense of comfort to me to see that. So let's just pray, y'all. We got some prayer warriors out here, right? Like Emma said, progress will continue. I feel strongly about it. Me too. I'm with Emma. I'm feeling a new sense of hope that has revived in my spirit that there is going to be justice for this young lady because we have the backing now. I'm so proud of the family for taking this route to hire these high profile people. I'm proud of the people who donated to this family so that they can afford to be able to have this great support. So it really takes a village. And I feel like the village has band together to help this family get justice. And we just need to keep fighting, guys. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep her name alive. If you have social media, guys, please keep tagging her name. Keep speaking about it. Keep tagging the president of the United States, the State Department, entities in your posts. Mail them letters, y'all. Right. Asila says hope is renewed. Hallelujah. We feel like we have in church right now. Yes, yes, yes. Hope is renewed. And yes, I still believe God. I'm with my beautiful Sierra. Yes, we got to have faith, but we got to have fight too. We've got to have fight, faith and fight, unwavering faith and unwavering fight for justice for the Black community. All right. I love y'all. Have a good weekend, y'all. I will be back on here just sometime this weekend. Y'all know I talk too much, so I will be back again about another case. But today has been a wonderful day. I really feel I could sleep at peace tonight to know that there's going to hopefully be some movement in this case. I feel so much hope in my spirit. This is by far have been the happiest moment since I've been covering Shanquella's case, y'all. I just can't express enough how happy I am about the progress, at least with the family and who they hired to take over and really advocate for this family. All right. I love you, beautiful opinionators and my litigators out there. Y'all take care and toodaloo.